the net goes so.
Welcome to a historical vignette that explores one of the darkest moments in the civil rights movement, the Hamburg Massacre. Join us as we delve into the events surrounding this tragic incident and shed light on the lasting impact it had on the fight for racial equality in America. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on those notification bells to get daily updates on videos like this. Hamburg, located in Aiken County, across the Savannah River from Augusta, Georgia, was originally a market town with a majority population of freed blacks during the Reconstruction era. After the Civil War, the town was repopulated by freedmen as they sought safety and community in urban areas to escape violence from white individuals. The expansion of the South Carolina Railroad into Augusta had rendered Hamburg's market town obsolete. During this time, the Democratic Party in South Carolina aimed to regain control of the state legislature. Their leaders devised a strategy outlining Confederate veteran General Martin Gary's plan of the campaign of 1876, also known as the Edgefield Plan. As part of this plan, they intended to disrupt Republican events. The Hamburg Massacre was a violent incident that occurred on July 4th, 1876, in Hamburg, South Carolina. The town had a predominantly black militia known as the Hamburg Company, composed mostly of freedmen. A white supremacist group called the Red Shirts, led by Benjamin Tillman, initiated confrontation with the black citizens, accusing them of blocking public roads and denying passage to white individuals. Conflicting accounts exist regarding the initial incident. Some sources claim that the carriage of white men initially drove against the head of the black militia column, while others suggest that the Red Shirts deliberately caused the civil disturbance. After an exchange of words, the Red Shirts, armed white planters, passed through the ranks of the black parade. The Red Shirts then accused the Hamburg militia of obstructing a public road at a local court hearing on July 6th. Armed white men from Edgefield and Aiken counties arrived at the court, and Matthew Calbreth Butler, an attorney from Edgefield, acted as the planters' counsel. Despite lacking official standing, Butler demanded the disbandment of the Hamburg Company and the surrender of their weapons. As tensions escalated, the Hamburg militia took refuge in the armory in the Sibley building near the railroad bridge. The white militia surrounded the building and a firefight ensued. Outnumbered and running low on ammunition, the black militia slipped away into the night upon learning that the whites had obtained a small cannon from Augusta. During the chaos, James Cook, Hamburg's town marshal, was shot and killed. Afterwards, the white supremacist militia rounded up approximately 24 black citizens, some from the militia, and took them to a location near the South Carolina Railroad and Bridge. They formed a circle known as the Dead Ring and deliberated on the fate of the captured black men. 4 men, including Allen Attaway, David Phillips, Hampton Stevens, and Albert Minard, were selected and murdered one by one. Black state legislator Simon Cooker of Barnwell was executed by the Sweetwater Sabre Company, led by Ben Tillman, after making final requests and praying. Several others were wounded during their escape or in the ensuing chaos. A coroner's jury indicated 94 white men, including MC Butler, Ben R. Tillman, and AP Butler, amongst others, but they were never prosecuted. The events of the Hamburg Massacre caused significant outrage, leading to a U.S. Senate investigation. Testimony was gathered through hearings held in Columbia, South Carolina, and the findings were published in 1877. The incident highlighted the racial tension and violence that persisted during the Reconstruction era in the South. The Hamburg Massacre had a profound impact on the political landscape in South Carolina and beyond. Republicans were shocked and appalled by the events, which led to a shift in dynamics within the Democratic Party. the cooperationist factor of the Democratic Party, which had been open to cooperating with Republican Governor Daniel H. Chamberlain, lost momentum in support following the massacre. On the other hand, Democratic support cascaded around the uncompromising Straight Outs faction, who are aligned with the Edgefield Plan devised by General Martin W. Gary for the state's redemption. Another larger massacre of freedmen occurred in Ellington, Aiken County from September 15th to the 21st of 1876, where approximately 100 freedmen were estimated to have been killed, along with a few whites. In October 1876, there was a political conflict in Conoy near Charleston, resulting in the death of 1 black and 3 to 6 whites. This was the only confrontation in South Carolina that year where more whites died than blacks. The Hamburg Massacre garnered national attention, with media outlets such as Harper's Weekly and the New York Times reporting on the incident. The violent and contentious 1876 election campaign, marked by voter suppression of black citizens by the red shirts and allegations of fraud, resulted in white Democrats gaining complete control of the South Carolina legislature and narrowly winning the governor's office. Over the next 2 decades, the white Democrats passed laws to enforce legal segregation known as Jim Crow, and in 1895, they adopted a new constitution that effectively disenfranchised black citizens in the state. This marked a significant setback for civil rights and political representation for African Americans in South Carolina. While the extent of MC Butler's involvement in the later events of the massacre had not been conclusively proven, his association with the Hamburg Massacre did have a negative impact on his career in the U.S. Senate. However, during the 1894 senatorial campaign, Butler faced Benjamin Ryan Tillman, who had led the Edgefield County Rifle Club and was part of the Red Shirts, the white supremacy group involved in the massacre. Tillman had been indicted by the coroner's jury for his role and continued to boast about the events in 1876 during his political campaigns. During their campaign, Butler and Tillman argued vigorously over their respective participation in the Hamburg Massacre. At that time in South Carolina politics, it was seen as heroic for white men to have been involved in the event. Tillman, in particular, proudly acknowledged the actions in the takeover of the government in 1876. In subsequent years, Tillman's legacy continued to be celebrated. In 1940, the South Carolina State Legislature erected a statue honoring him on the Capitol grounds, and in 1946, Clemson University renamed its main hall in his honor. However, after a racially motivated Charleston church shooting in 2015, where 9 black churchgoers were killed, there was a reassessment of Tillman's legacy. In 2020, the university's treasury requested to rename the hall, reflecting a shift in attitude towards Tillman's role in promoting a campaign of terror and white supremacy. The events surrounding the Hamburg Massacre and the subsequent political careers of individuals involved highlights the complex and troubling history of racial violence and its lasting impact on South Carolina's political and social landscape. Following the Hamburg Massacre, many black residents chose to leave the town, leading to its decline once again. In 1911, Augusta started constructing a river levee for flood protection, but Hamburg was left unprotected. Devastating floods in 1927 and subsequent years proved catastrophic for the town, eventually leading to the departure of its last residents in 1929. Today, there are no visible remains of the former town of Hamburg, as it is predominantly covered by golf courses. The town's history has faded into obscurity, with only its past memories remaining. I hope you guys enjoyed this account on the Hamburg Massacre. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get more videos like this. And continue to join us as we delve deeper into the untold stories and personal accounts of the African American experience in America. Peace.